Emmy-lou here. Today I want to show you how to do an elephant. So I've got another elephant video, but I wanted to show you how to do the elephant kind of looking front ways. So all you're going to need, piece of paper, pencil. I kind of want to say chalk pastels. So these are like really amazing. I'll show you them. Ta-da! Look at these, they're so cool. So chalk pastels, you don't need chalk pastels. You could do oil pastel, you could do paint, anything you like. So first of all, we're just going to draw it. So you need the pencil. I'm going to do it landscape, not portrait. So this is landscape. So the first thing you need to do is think about the shape. So we're going to start off with a round shape there. So think about the fact that it's there, you've got a lot of room and you've got a lot of room there. And then what you want to do is build around that rainbow. So you're going to go 1, 2, and you're going to kind of do, it's almost like a hexagon but not, because you're going to go ah, then ah, and then on the top, instead of doing just a straight line, you want to go just like a bit of a wobbly line, because it's got to be an organic line as opposed to a very straight one, so quite natural looking. And then what you want to do is create the rest of the trunk and the face. Okay, I love elephants, they're my favourites. Well, giraffes are awesome, but I like elephants. So on each side we're going to go 1, 2. So it's almost like you're going into it as though you're doing, oh, it reminds me of a jelly tot or something yummy. And then all you're going to do, really super easy, you're just going to touch about there and go down. So again, there, go down. It's nice if they're sort of going out a little bit, if you can. And then what you're going to do is go whoop, and then whoop. Don't have to make that noise, but I quite like to. Coming out of here, you're going to have horns, but we don't need to draw them yet. We can draw the actual trunk. So coming from here, we're going to do this. It's like the start or the end of the trunk. And then we're going to go. It gets smaller and smaller. And then right at the end, you're going to have like that little bit that kind of has it at the end. Then you're going to go da da da, because it looks more like a trunk if you can do these little lines. It just looks really cool when you start colouring it in. Then we're going to do some eyes. So one eye there, one eye there. Doesn't matter how you do the eyes. You could do them cartoony, do some eyebrows. Then we want to do the big ears. Now it depends what elephant it is, because if it's an African elephant, it's got different ears from an Indian elephant. So what we're going to do is touch about there and wobbly line, up, across, and then just wobbly, join. If you can't do it that way because it looks quite confusing, you could start up here. So you could come out from here. So that wobbly line we drew, come out, go across, and then wobbly line until you get to about, it could be there or it could be there, it doesn't matter. And then all you need to do, think about the tusks. So the tusks on an elephant are quite large, depending on their age and everything. But we're going to just do a line there. And because it's this shape, got to go to the other bit and just twirl. So there's one tusk. The other tusk doesn't have to be like this one. It could just go just like that. It doesn't matter. It's the elephant's turning its head. So it's kind of, it might be in a different position. So it's okay if you do it like that. You could always do it like that, but this way. So it's up to you. And if you want to, you can do it going into the trunk and rub out where the trunk is. So now we're going to do the back of the elephant. So touch about there. And you've got to give it a back. So that's the back, and then it goes down. So it's like it's got this nice little back, and then it goes down. Then you want to make a leg. So we're going to make it chunky. Elephants have quite chunky legs. So up and across. So leave a bit of room. So you want up across, and whatever's inside this line, you're going to go, can you see what I'm doing? I'm not doing it straight down. I'm going a bit diagonal, I suppose, and then down. And then this one's just down like that. Because they're legs, it's quite nice to do them so they're not completely straight, the line. They're a little bit wobbly because that's what the elephant's like. So now we're going to do, the front legs are going to appear quite large, like larger than these, because they're in front of the elephant, so it looks bigger. So we'll start off by, there's this leg here now. If we just touch the trunk and do a line like this, because this is where one leg goes, what you could do is use your pencil and fly over. So wherever the leg is, just draw it in. So this line, you wouldn't see it if I didn't fly over and have it kind of attached, if that makes sense. That makes sense, like joined up. And then I'm going to fly over the pencil, and then know that this goes like that. Then we're going to have, so you can like fiddle around with it. If it doesn't quite look right to you, you can change that to make it look more chunky. If I was to change it, I would probably make that look a bit chunky and do a line like that. And then I would probably, Tebex is a bit chunky monkey. I'd rub out that because that looks quite cool. I'd probably do some knees, some wrinkly bits. I love drawing, you know, like elephant's ears. They just look so cute. And they've got lines on them. So elephants are really wrinkly, so make sure you put those lines on him. Now the head looks strange, doesn't it? So what we have to do is rub out the middle bit, because you don't generally see that anyway. So just rub out the middle bit. If you want to, you can rub out just that bit and that bit, because it's just to show you roughly the lines of the elephant. So it's not, you don't need the whole shape, so you can rub things out. Now we're going to colour it in. I'm tempted to say, well, my colours are there, and I'm tempted, I mean, I like grey. I think I did my other elephant grey. Do you know what, let's try and do a brown elephant. Like, it could be rolling around in mud. Let's do, I'm going to do like a, it's quite nice to have a pink elephant, isn't it? I might do like a bluey grey elephant, just so it's something a bit different from what I did before. So I've picked up that colour there. You see it? It's like a purple. I've hardly got anything left because it's quite thin. But I'm going to colour, I'm holding it on the side like it's lying down, and I'm just going to colour the whole thing, apart from the tusks. It's actually a really nice colour. So the tusks are a bit like teeth, and the eyes you don't have to colour in. But the tusks are the same kind of colour as teeth, depending on what you've been eating. Hopefully not sweets. I don't think I ate many sweets at all when I was small. But I eat them now, which I try not to eat too many. Okay, so one little finger, and you're going to smudge. You're going to blend, it's called. So use the one finger if you can, because if I use my whole hand like that, it just gets really messy. Like it's almost, it's just a bit of a pain really. There's no need to have it that messy. So then we can start getting a dark grey. So my dark grey, because you won't have the lines with the black pen unless you put them on there. So I'm going to go round all my pencil lines with a dark grey. And this is where I can add the detail. I can just go around the eye, just that is pretty much all my lines. It's important to do those on there actually. And all I'll do is get my one finger and I'll smudge. Now I could smudge in, so say for example I'm smudging in there. That might look quite cool, because then it turns the elephant into not just one colour, but because of all the different bits of grey that's showing, it's kind of a grey blue then, which is nice. So this is the back leg, so I'm just going to colour this all grey. But I'm doing it with my finger. So I've got my pastel, just colouring it in already. So you're just drawing over your pastel line, you're softening the line with your finger. Now what I would do is I'd get a block. Actually, I'd probably get a colour that's like sand. I mean, it's up to you. You could do grey perhaps, but I quite like the sandy colour. And I'll just go around like that. But what you could also do is think about shadow. Because if you want to make him look a little bit more realistic, you could think, okay, I've got some shadow under the ears, shadow there, shadow under the leg. Pause the video as well if I'm going too fast. But you could add the shadow in, it always looks nice. I'm putting some black now here, just because there's quite a bit of shadow there. We can even do shadow on the tusk, and it'll be nice to outline the eye, just because you don't get to see the eye much otherwise. And then I'll just get my one finger and then smudge away. But you want to blend so there's no beginning or end. If you don't know what I mean, if you look at that, you don't just want to stop where the colour is, you want to smudge around but then go out so you don't see the edge. Because if I just stayed here, I'd have a big edge, can you see? But if you go, it's like you've smudged the edge, it looks a lot nicer. I wouldn't smudge the eyes because I want to keep them showing really. So that is literally my lovely elephant. If I was to change it, I might make him have a less of an angle for there, but I quite like it at the moment, if I'm honest. He's a little bit thin, so maybe he'd have a tummy that's a bit chunkier. So it's up to you. You can change it if you like. If you were to change it so the stomach's bigger, you could just do a line there, rub out all this and put it in. I'm tempted to show you, but I don't want to ruin my one. And what I'm going to do is, if you have a straw, I was trying to think if I've got a straw. If you go get a straw, if you don't have a straw, do not worry. Just get some watery, let's get some watery green paint. So you need paint that's green. We're going to mix it in a bit of a pot with water. So what have I got? I've got a straw, but you don't need one if you haven't got one. So there's my palette, very, very messy. I've got some green poster paint. Just put it in there. And I need to make it watery, so I'm gonna get a water pot with water in it and just add the water to it. Okay, then I'm gonna do this. It needs to be watery, otherwise it will not show up. So I'm gonna do this. It might look strange because I've got to come from this angle. I'm going to blow. Okay, now if it doesn't show up, because I feel a bit faint, I don't think it's going to show up very well because the straw is quite an old one. Let's give it a go. But yeah, it's a lot better. So can you see, I quite like the way it drips, but some people don't like that. So obviously I've got it leaning up and this is why it's dripping. And I quite like the drips going through there. So obviously you don't have to have this. But whatever you do, do the direction that you want it. So it just looks quite cool, if I'm honest. It just adds something to it. You could do this for a project at school. It just highlights the picture. I'm going to keep that one there just because I quite like it. And then here, if I go this way, so you've got to keep checking if you like it or not, and then you can just, I'll probably do more there, but I'm hesitant because yours will be on a table so it won't drip down. But this is a great technique for firework night, because you can put so many different colours and it just really highlights the animal. It highlights everything. It just looks really nice. I'm going to try and do this before it smudges in. But it's quite thick actually what I just put on, because I didn't want it to drip. God, can you see? But the waterier it is, the better. I am gonna just, yeah, I don't want to ruin it with my smudging. But if it does go on it and you don't like it, let it dry, then go over it with the pastel once it's fully dry, and then you won't see it as much. But I'm going to leave it like that because it's still wet. And then what you could do is get a pastel, black pastel. You don't have to do green as well, you could do blue, whatever colour you like. Then you could just sign your name at the bottom. Da-da-da, da-da, there's my elephant. So have a go at doing different colours, have a go at, doesn't have to be chalk, it could be oil pastel, which might work really well, because if this goes over oil, the water, you can just wipe it off, but because it's over chalk, it's tricky to wipe off. So there's my elephant. Enjoy, subscribe, like and share, and let me know how you get on.